It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Ejubi Wiafe Akentin. Coming up.
We are changing the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So a bill will be brought by the Minister for Transport for the name of the airport to be changed.
Government announces plans to rename Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. Also coming up.
The fire started from a washroom which is not being used because of a lack of water, and that is where students normally park their chalk boxes.
Inferno rips through Pont Tamale Girls' Dormitory, marking the third consecutive fire outbreak in a senior high school in the northern region. Still ahead.
It's not like it's random. If we do find you, well, then it will grab you. Just at this time, we have added that of the school canteen.
Food and Drugs Authority cracks down on unlicensed food outlets as it rollouts a month-long nationwide enforcement exercise. And later in this bulletin.
This is seriously affecting the sector. And if the Cocoa Board CEO didn't wake up and do anything about it, he should be expecting something very ugly from next week going.
And later, cocoa farmers threaten to embark on a nationwide strike over monies owed them by Ghana Cocoa Board. We'll bring you the details shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
This news is live across the globe on citinewsroom.com, and around the country we are live on a number of affiliates. In the Upper West region we are live on Tumpani Radio 88.5 FM and Jirapa 96.1 FM. In the Upper East region we are live on Mike 105.3 FM in Navrongo and Bolga 102.7 FM in Bolgatanga. In the Northern region you can tune in to North Star Radio 92.1 FM in Tamale, and in the Northeast region we're live on Obia FM 98.1 FM in Nalerigu. In the Western region tune in to Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM both in Takrade. In the Ashanti region we're live on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, in the KNUST campus, and Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi as well. In the Volta region tune in to Sela Radio 97.1 FM and Holy 98.5 FM. In the Savannah region it's Kasha 99.5 FM in Damango. Let's settle for the details of our stories. Majority Leader Mahama Yarega has announced plans by government to rename the Kotoka International Airport as Accra International Airport. The move follows calls by the renaming of the airport from its current name. Addressing journalists, Mahama Yarega said a bill will be introduced to that effect.
We are changing the name of our airport from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So a bill will be brought by the Minister for Transport for the name of the airport to be changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport. So the Accra International Airport bill will also come, and then they will ask us to approve some international bilateral agreements and multilateral agreements for them. And Minister of Interior will continue to have the Security and Intelligence Agencies Bill considered by Parliament.
Mahama Yarega also added that government will introduce a legislative instrument before Parliament to regulate noise pollution in communities. He explained that the move seeks to protect human health and the environment.
Religious activities at times when the neighborhoods in which those religious institutions are sited may prefer to have some less noise. In other jurisdictions, all religious activities are done in confined places where the noise is not allowed to escape out of the precincts of that establishment. if there are outdoor events, the location of those outdoor events should be such that they don't disturb others who want to sleep at that time. So the Environmental Protection Agency, through the Minister for Environment, is bringing a legislation to control noise pollution from various sources to protect human health and the environment. And then regulations to regulate coastal habitats, protect and preserve and restore coastal ecosystems.
The Majority Leader also announced plans by government to lay before the House a bill for private sector participation in electricity distribution.
There is a program to involve the private sector in electricity distribution, and these are things that will have to come to Parliament for approval. There's been a lot of renegotiation of the various power purchase agreements with independent power producers. These are matters that have to come to Parliament. The Nuclear Power Corporation bill will also come. There's a proposal to establish a Renewable Energy Authority. So the bill to establish that will also be here. And then there's a new proposal to merge PURC and EC to establish the Ghana Energy Regulatory Commission. So a bill to that effect will come. And then some regulations relating to the West Africa gas pipeline will also come from the Ministry of Energy, but they haven't come yet.
You heard Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga. The Minority Leader Alexander Penyomarkin, for his part, charged the Majority Caucus to be accommodating of the minority's duty to hold the government to account.
The minority has not been obstructive. We've been largely cooperative. If you look at last year, the ministerial nominees, only 2 or 3 were voted on, but almost all of them, we took them by consensus. And in fact, we approved them on record time because we took a view that we don't have to allow the ministry for civil servants to operate. Government needed to have the ministers to take responsibility. So we set a record time approval for them, which has never happened in our Fourth Republic. Again, if you look at most of the bills that came through regular channels, we cooperated with them through winnowing, through amendment on the floor to take them by consensus. Government programs that came, we raised our critical issues, but we were not obstructive. We understand the fact that governance must have a seamless, space, but at the same time, we must not yield to our duty to scrutinize.
He also expressed concern over what he described as government's delay in delivering on its promises.
And while the NDC has condemned some of our governance staff, they themselves, in 1 year in office, we have not seen any major shift in terms of governance. Apart from the gold board that they've established, which is helping to stabilize the city because now they are trying to centralize the purchase of gold and all. Other sectors, agriculture, there hasn't been any major investment. Look at their budget 2026. And then also, if you look at their own flagship program, the 24-hour economy, they say 1 job, 3 shifts. We've not seen much in that area. So we pray that we'll see a comprehensive policy direction that would lead to real-time economic growth.
That was Minority Leader Alexander Apenyomarkin. Let's turn our attention to the northern region where Pont Tamale Senior High School has become the latest second cycle institution in the region to record a fire outbreak after a blaze gutted parts of the girls' dormitory. The fire, believed to have started from the washrooms, caused panic among students. The incident adds to growing concerns following similar dormitory fires, including one at Tolon Senior High School yesterday. The headmaster of Pont Tamale SHS, Francis Atimbisa, said the swift intervention of the School Cadet Corps and community members and the Ghana National Fire Service as well helped to contain the fire.
I heard about the fire incident around 9:15, and I was told the fire started from a washroom which is not being used because of a lack of water, and that is where students normally pack their chalk boxes anytime they are leaving for vacation. And currently our Form 1s are on vacation because we are running the transition system, and so they packed their chalk boxes and their mattresses there, and that was where the fire started from. But fortunately, the community members and our cadets were on hand to start putting off the fire. And before the fire service personnel came, the fire was already under control. And they came and complimented the efforts of the community people, and they were able to dash the fire. So the fire couldn't extend to where the students sleep.
You heard the headmaster of Pont Tamale Senior High School, Francis Atimbisa. Let's stay a little more on the story, and our Northern Bureau Chief Shawana Yusuf joins me over the phone lines. Hello to you, Shawana.
Hello, GB. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What is the situation looking like at Pont Tamale SHS? How are the students reacting?
Thank you very much. So at the Pont Tamale Senior High School is no good news for them today. Yesterday was Tolong Senior High School. Last week it was Northern Business Senior High School. And today, Tolong Senior High School. Last night there was a fire outbreak. When we got there, what we saw was that due to the fire that emanated from the storeroom, so they have this unused washroom due to the lack of water in the school there. So they decided to use that particular facility as a storeroom so that when the students are going on vacation, they don't need to carry their chop boxes and their mattresses. They rather store them in those washrooms, and then they go and come and have them. So the Form 1 students who are currently on break have all their chop boxes bent beyond recognition. We understand about 147 Form 1 girls who have left their chop boxes, their mattresses, their books, and so on, have all been bent. But if you go to the dormitory, the girls' dormitory right now at Pont Tamale Senior High School, what you will see is that due to the fear of the fire spreading to close-by dormitories, the female students yesterday tried as much as possible to evacuate their belongings from their dormitory. So in their compound, what you see is chop boxes, beds, mattresses, and everything scattered around due to fear of the fire extending to where they actually sleep. So currently, if you go, you see them trying to sort their belongings. Others have had their things stolen away, and because there were community members who came inside the compound to come and help with the situation. So currently, as it stands, a lot of confusion, while those who are in the house have their chop boxes and other stuff being bent near recognition. Others are still trying to locate their chop boxes, locate their belongings, and that is the situation currently at the Pont Tamale Senior High School.
Right. The personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service also on ground, have they been able to tell you what really caused the incident?
So in a telephone interview with the public relations officer, he tells us that investigations are currently ongoing. They went in yesterday. They were able to dispatch their fire tender from the Savlugu municipality to go to Pont Tamale Senior High School to douse the fire. But before they could get there, students and community members, from what we picked, were able to control the fire before the arrival of the fire service. But currently, they are carrying out investigations to be able to tell what exactly caused the fire. So currently, as it stands, we don't know the cause of fire for Pont Tamale Senior High School.
But have they been able to give any hints? This is the third incident happening in a senior high school in that particular region on what really is causing the trend.
Well, in an interview with the head teacher, he's also not able to tell us. What he was just able to mention is that the switch to the particular storeroom is actually outside the facility. It's not within the facility. So he's surprised as to how the fire came about, and they don't even know where it started because all the students were at prep when it happened. So they had they saw the flames, and then they had the shout from other students who were around, and then they had to rush there. That's exactly what caused the fire. Nobody is able to tell us because almost everybody was away from the facility when the fire began.
Right. Thank you so much for your time.
And I must be quick to add that it's been a source of worry to almost everybody in the region. Looking at the trends, in just few days, 3 schools are gone, and it is just the girls' dormitory that are being affected greatly.
Right. Thank you so much for your time, Shawana. We'll reach out to you again for updates on this particular issue in our subsequent
Thank you.
You heard our Northern Bureau Chief, Shawana Yusuf, giving us updates on a fire incident that occurred at the Pont Tamale Girls' Dormitory earlier today. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News, and still ahead, Food and Drugs Authority cracks down on unlicensed food outlets as it rolls out a month-long nationwide enforcement exercise. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
My friends, I'm a very happy man. Let me share my testimony. I needed a home at a prime location, but I didn't have enough money. The little I had was too small to buy even a studio apartment, but a friend of mine introduced me to invest to own from Priority View Homes. I invested the little money I had for only 2 years. True to their word, at the maturity date, I qualified for a 2-bedroom luxury apartment at a prime location in Accra. Now look at me, living in my own home without the usual hassle. If you want a stress-free home to live in, I would advise you to sign up to their invest-to-own policy and say cheers to a new home. You may call Priority View Homes Limited on 055-588-2294, 055-588-2294, and you will never regret you did. Priority View Homes. There's no place like home.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM across all social media platforms for updates, and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from Citi FM, and it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, and Didi Shito, and it's supported by Nanes Rice. Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back to the Citi Prime News. To some other stories, the Food and Drugs Authority says poor hygiene continues to pose a major public health risk due to non-compliance by some food vendors. The authority has begun an exercise to shut down food outlets operating without valid permits. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the FDA's Food Division, Roderick Dade Ejay, said enforcement remains challenging because of limited manpower.
It's not like it's random. If we do find you, well, then it will grab you. Just at this time, we have added that of the school canteens, and a lot of the places are not right. It's a shame, and I think all headmasters and headmistresses, if they hear me, they know they have their work cut out for them. FDA is not saying it's going to go like as you're saying, go and open offices and the rest. Even though we are opening a few offices to spread our work, it is not kind of to fill this work. There's a definite work that the local government is supposed to do, and that is where the inspectors from their end are supposed to cover, like the health, in terms of doing their medics, then the basic sanitation, the hygiene that they should. Okay, FDA comes in with the street wood vendor permit. That first step must be done by local government. Our monitoring shows that sometimes it's done, sometimes it is not, and the numbers are staggering. I mean, as it is, the thousands that we are talking about, it's not a joke, and that is the reason why the issue of education and then also tackling it.
Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Food and Drugs Authority, Roderick Dade Ejay, speaking. Now, cocoa farmers are threatening a nationwide strike next week over unpaid monies owed by the Ghana Cocoa Board. The farmers say they are facing serious financial difficulties due to months of unpaid fees for cocoa beans supplied to Cocoa Board since November last year. Speaking to Citi News, President of the Mankro Cocoa Cooperative Farmers Association, Francis Taino, said the farmers will embark on demonstrations if government fails to settle the outstanding payments.
It's really affecting farmers. Some are sick, they want to seek medications, and they don't have money to go to hospital. We want them to die, that's reopen. University, secondary, all these parents need to finance their children in it. And now they are giving their cocoa. The cocoa, you can't keep it because farmers don't have a storage facility, so they can't keep it. So definitely they will give it to LBC to give it to Cocoa Board, with the expectation that money will come on time. And as I'm speaking, it's about 6 weeks, no money for cocoa farm. This is seriously affecting the sector. And if the Cocoa Board CEO didn't wake up and do anything about it, he should expecting something very ugly from next week going, because farmers are not happy. And if they are not careful, they will be on the street from next week going.
That was Francis Taino, president of the Mankro Cocoa Cooperative Farmers Association. Now, the Ghana National Council of Private Schools, NACOPS, has condemned what it describes as exorbitant fees being imposed on private schools by the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. Executive Director of NACOPS, Obenfo Nana Kwesi Jetwa, told Citi News that several schools, particularly in the Ashaman area, have complained of being charged between 10,000 and 15,000 cedis allegedly without prior notice or clear guidelines. He has since called for an urgent review of the charges.
We have approached the MPA boss through National Schools Inspectorate Authority, and we have scheduled a meeting to resolve the matter. So I will use your platform to urge all private schools across the country and the affected schools to exercise patience as we are bent to resolve this matter amicably within this period of time. And we understand their plight, and we wouldn't sit aloof for any of the agencies to milk them whilst appropriate and proper measures have not been put in place. Thank you very much.
Obenfo Nana Kwesi Jetwa is Executive Director of the Ghana National Council of Private Schools, NACOPS. Meanwhile, Environmental Protection Agency officials say recent enforcement actions affecting some schools are part of a nationwide compliance exercise, not a targeted clampdown. The EPA says many facilities, including schools, are operating without valid environmental permits or with expired approvals in breach of the law. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, the Greater Accra East Regional Director of EPA, Samuel Bain, noted that no schools have been shut down, explaining that operators are given time to regularize their status.
I wouldn't say they are targeted. In fact, this one that we started last 4 weeks ago, we have covered more than 700 facilities and just about 100 plus. That is, we have covered almost all the areas. We have never locked anybody because your permit has expired. No, we don't do that. We give you notice. We have 3 levels of letters. The first one is without permit. When you come to your facility and you don't have permit, we will give you that letter. And that letter will tell you what you should do. Then we give you 48 hours to report to the office to begin the process of trying to regularize and putting things in order. So you come to the office and you start the process. The officers are at the office to help you to go through what you have to do and what you don't have to do. In the same way, when you come when you have an expired permit, we give you the same permit, the same letter to come to the office to come and start the process to renew the permit. Then if it's infraction, the same thing that we do. So the EPA never go to a facility and close that. No, we don't do that.
Okay.
And when you do that, in trying to make people to comply, the law also prescribes that there's a fee that you have to pay. So not that fee is paid, the permit cannot be issued to you.
Samuel Ting also rejected allegations of harassment, stressing that all payments are made through official channels only.
Nobody is supposed to give money to any EPA officer. EPA, if you have to pay any money to EPA, it is paid at the bank.
Correct.
There's something that we call invoice. We generate invoice from an account department. I don't even do it. It's an accountant that will do it for you. You send it to the bank, and it's paid through Ghana.gov platform. Or you can also pay by Momo, which is a EPA merchant Momo. And that one, there's a very clear procedure how you pay it. So nobody is supposed to give any money to anybody. In fact, we have been saying it all the time. You don't give money to anybody. If you give money to anybody, that will amount to a stop.
You have a Greater Accra East Regional Director of the Environmental Protection Authority, Samuel Oting, speaking to Bernard Ablay on the City Breakfast Show. Now, the Senior Staff Association of the University of Ghana, TEWU TUC, and the Federation of University Senior Staff Association of Ghana, FUSAG, have declared an indefinite strike effective immediately. The unions say the action follows what they describe as a unilateral decision by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to alter agreed conditions of service. They are protesting the replacement of overtime allowances with a call-in allowance, which they say breaches a 2021 agreement. Addressing the media, President of the University of Ghana chapter of the Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana, Gladys Alantia, said the staff must be treated with fairness and respect.
We are parents. We are aunties and uncles. We have our nephews and nieces here. We are never in any way trying to disrupt any academic work. But this is the time where we have reached. We just have to speak up at this particular time. It's just unfortunate that it so has to meet with the students in school. But it is never up. We want our condition of service to be restored, not to be tampered with. Once they listen to us, why not? Even if tomorrow, we'll go back. But if they don't listen, we cannot say because we will disrupt the academic calendar, we should keep quiet and then suffer. No.
You claim that the
Labour Commission, they came to the Labour Commission to testify that indeed Senior Staff Association has an agreement with them, Fair Wages. And then, in the same vein, after that 16th October meeting with them at the Labour Commission that they came to testify, they wrote another letter to University of Ghana Vice Chancellor that they are doing the right thing by not paying us overtime. They should use calling to pay. Is that not a double standard?
Gladys Atlantia is president of the University of Ghana chapter of the Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana. 13 out of 15 suspects arrested over the recent attack on the Gomwanyanyano Palace in the Central Region have been remanded by the Kasua Akwele District Court. The suspects were charged with causing damage, creating fear and panic, insecurity and disturbing the peace. Two suspects, Kojo Otabil, age 62, and Kojo Esrifi, age 65, were granted bail in the sum of 40,000 Ghana cedis each, with one surety on health and age grounds. The remaining suspects were remanded into police custody to reappear in court on February 6. Meanwhile, police have intensified surveillance in the Gomwanyanyano community, with armed officers providing security at the palace. A former member of Parliament for Anyaso Tuom, Dr. Dixon Adomako Kisi, is urging the media to avoid reports that could create divisions within the New Patriotic Party (NPP). According to him, there are no longer factions within the party following Dr. Bawumia's victory in the party's presidential primary. And that's it for this edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Accra. Log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. I am Ejubi Wiafe Akente. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, City 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at City 973.